Possible. What is going on, everyone? Happy Friday. And welcome back to Sin City Crypto Live. My name is David. I'll be one of your co-hosts today. And today, like every day, we're coming at you from our studio in the heart of Las Vegas, Nevada, where the Raiders are trash and so is Robin's haircut. Today, we are talking about Sam Bankman-Fried continuing to do interviews. Maxine Waters has spoken. What does she have to say? We're also talking about Bitcoin. We're going to talk about Polygon. We're going to talk about Flow. But before we can do all of that, I'd like to introduce you to your other co-host, Big Rob. What's up?
Hola! It's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, we're an entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel where we take the old, the boring, the stale information, we package it up in a fun and sexy way. Also, here at Sin City Crypto, we don't just do live streams. We look at Twitter Spaces, Sam Bankman-Fried interviews, and we also do like the Raiders here, and we also watch the Portugal team advance to the round of 16.
Oh my God.
In case you haven't seen it, your boy got the Portugal jersey on. Hola, meu amigos. I'm talking to all my Portuguese people here. Brazil plays tomorrow. So
You're two Portuguese people in here. Cool.
Hey, the Portuguese community is growing, man.
Hey, nothing wrong with the Portuguese community. It's just,
I rang the bell, and they showed up.
Majority of the community is not Portuguese, though. You see what I'm saying?
We're Portuguese at heart. You know?
Yeah, right.
You don't have to be Italian to like pasta. Ain't that right, Rocco?
Always pasta.
But do you have to be Italian to like barbecue chicken pizza?
No, you have to have a very strong inner lining in your stomach. You also need to have you must have an admiration for corn syrup as a natural sweetener for barbecue sauce.
I want to give a shout out to Crypto Billy. He has been a whale member for 3 months, supporting this channel. Billy, thank you. Would I rather fight two 50-foot tall chickens or 52-foot tall chickens? I feel like I think I'll take the two 50-foot tall chickens.
They don't fight among chicken.
Yeah, I'll just slice them at their Achilles tendon and then they'll crack. And then,
Yeah.
what would you rather do, Robin? Two 50-foot tall or 52-foot tall?
Well, I mean, if you ever had a farm with chickens, you usually have about 50 of them running around generally. And so it's familiar territory. So yeah, I'll take the 50.
Can you kick Brokioshi out of the chat, please? Thank you very much.
What did he say?
Just disrespect, bro. Disrespect.
What did he say?
Which is better, the bad A Raiders or the stinky cheesehead Packers? Hey. How many championships y'all got? All right. So Sam Bankman-Fried yesterday was on Twitter Spaces. What were your thoughts on that Twitter Spaces, Robin? My initial thoughts, big props to the guys who set it up to get him on the show. Of course, looking from an outside perspective, looking in and saying, this is what I would have done differently. I definitely would have done things a little differently. I feel like too many people had the opportunity to ask questions. I feel like if it was a little more focused, streamlined, I feel like it would have been a little better. It was a lot of back and forth. But hey, they were able to get him on the Twitter Spaces. So big shout out to those guys. What were your initial thoughts, Rob?
You had a handful of dominant personalities that are all trying to intellectually beat each other out. I'm not discounting any of their guys' platforms. I just feel like they needed like 1 to 3 moderators,
right?
Kind of asking questions. It felt a little all over the place, but
yeah.
If you guys haven't seen it, a couple takeaways. It was about 2-hour, basically question and answer with Sam Bankman-Fried on the Twitter Spaces. So.
Okay, but was it really an answer, bro? He just continues to talk in circles, right?
I found that he had a lot good to say. You know what I mean? Like it was interesting to see his perspective. And
hold on. Did you say he had a lot of good to say?
No, like he didn't just dodge every question. And so
what do you mean? You don't think he talked in circles?
I think he gave a little bit more in depth. He basically admitted that exchanges, his particularly, had artificial Bitcoin that was represented off chain or represented in cold stores that wasn't physically on the exchange.
Was that the biggest?
He discussed some of the failures of margin trading and how they got underwater from that. Now, he tried to pin all of the margin trading and leverage to the entire failures and the loss of people's Bitcoin that had nothing to do with leverage or margin. And so, yeah, he wasn't transparent. He didn't give the whole playbook of what happened. And obviously the place was ripe with fraud. So unless he wants to admit he was doing illegal activities, fraud, lying, and cheating, which we know he's not going to do, at least we got some insight to how the company did work, or at least some snippets of it. Also,
you had brought up a good point a couple of weeks ago. You watched that. So one of the founders of New Genesis, well, the founder, he had a 3-hour long video on YouTube after he went on Ben's show. That thing just completely popped off, where he showed evidence and talked about how they were able to track what Alameda was doing. And so in it, Robin brought up the point that, hey, what FTX was doing was when you would deposit money to buy, let's say, Bitcoin, well, they were commingling real Bitcoin with fake synthetic Bitcoin to make it seem like they had the Bitcoin, which is why, will you explain that real quick, by the way, for some of the new viewers or people that missed it? So essentially they went negative on their Bitcoin on the exchange when FTX went insolvent.
So what they're doing is that if you're not withdrawing all of the assets, you can theoretically say you have your order books and you have 10 Bitcoin going here, 10 Bitcoin going there, whatever it is. So let's just say your order book, or say that in that account you're saying you have 1,000 Bitcoin, and if you have 1,000 Bitcoin, cool, you can facilitate trade. But let's just pretend that you don't actually have 1,000 Bitcoin. You only have 500 Bitcoin on there, and 500 of it is artificial. It's not real. It's just something that your numbers generate, and you put a representation of it there in the order books. And if say 10%, say people just go in and withdraw, they withdraw say 10 Bitcoin or 100. Say they withdraw 100 Bitcoin. They don't fall under the threshold of not having it. And so you withdraw 100 Bitcoin, there was 1,000 in the pool, and now it's down to 900. You still got 500 fake Bitcoin, but you got 400 real Bitcoin. And then the next person comes in, deposits 50, you're back up to 40. Anyways, as long as the account doesn't fall underneath the threshold of all the real Bitcoin, you don't have any problems. And I think a lot of the collapse that happened with FTX, and a lot of on-chain data and some of what happened points to this happening was there was the bank run. CZ's like, yo, we're selling all our FTT. Everyone's calling FTX insolvent or possible of being insolvent. Everyone withdrew all their crypto, and then you didn't have enough real Bitcoin
which makes sense, because what you were saying is yesterday he pretty much admitted what you saw on your dashboard on FTX was just numbers.
Yeah.
The crypto was never on FTX. And that's the biggest thing I took away from.
Now, here's the thing. He admitted to having Bitcoin represented on the exchange that wasn't one-to-one on the exchange, but that they had custodial ownership of it. And so what he's saying is that, hey, we have 1,000 Bitcoin on the exchange, but we actually have 1,000 Bitcoin. It's just not on that exchange ready to be withdrawn at that exact moment. And so that's where you get into this like murky waters. Now, there's also, so back to what you were saying, that the accusations with Sam Bankman-Fried, or like particularly Alameda, is that they were basically just not having Bitcoin like anywhere, or take any crypto you want, take Ethereum, take Solana, take their FTT token, and they were basically having tokens that never existed on their platform as part of the liquidity, and it all came crashing down when there was a bank run and people wanted their assets and they couldn't withdraw. And so that's kind of where we got into that mess there. So,
what are your thoughts on, so CoffeeZilla, he came on towards the end. What are your thoughts on him saying, he pretty much said, guys, we need to stop saying stuff like, oh, I'm sure you didn't do it with any malintention, or I'm sure you had good intentions, or, You know, you don't seem like an evil guy. Do you?
Well,
agree
here's
with
the
that?
thing. So he's doing his interview. So at face value, he's discussing his negligence, which negligence doesn't.
Is that giving him the benefit of the doubt, saying it was negligence?
No, you're the CEO of a giant company in charge of billions of dollars. I think it was $80 billion at one point.
So it's either
And,
negligence or he did it on purpose.
It doesn't matter. I mean, the thing is, he did it on purpose, but
Well, it matters.
But
It matters.
But he's trying to portray negligence. But what I'm
can't say
saying
it
is that,
doesn't
like,
matter, though,
so there's
Robin.
two things. There's two things that going. There's two things here. It's either negligence or it's fraud.
That's what I'm saying.
But what I'm saying is that both are criminal, or both can be prosecuted criminally, because negligence doesn't free you of criminal liability.
But it could be the difference of 25 to life or 2 years and a
Yeah,
fine.
no, 100%. Well, what I'm saying is that dude's guilty of being a piece of crap, right?
I mean,
He is. And so he should be held accountable. He should do some kind of time, or have some kind of punishment, right? At least when it comes criminal.
at the very least.
And even if he sticks with the negligence narrative, that's the direction he's going to end up going, as long as the U.S. Justice Department and maybe the FBI or whoever it is would go after him. And there's been no talks of that. So kind of disappointing, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully they're building a case. That's what I'm thinking. I would assume they're building a case on Sam Bankman-Fried. They're getting the evidence. And then they're going to, go and apprehend him. Who knows? Or at least put out a warrant for his arrest. And so, yeah, we'll see where that goes.
Well, there is one person that spoke out, and they were all too kind to Mr. Bankman-Fried. And it was none other than Miss Maxine Waters. She said, source from Yahoo, she said, "We want him here," as Maxine urges Bankman-Fried to testify. She said the article goes on to explain House Financial Services Chairwoman Maxine Waters on Friday said she has invited FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried to testify at the panel's December 13th hearing on the exchange's collapse. This is a quote from her. "We want him here. If he's talking and giving interviews, we'd like for him to just be just as candid with us." The former FTX CEO has signaled that he would be open to testifying for Congress, but there was some stuff brewing on crypto Twitter this morning. So I got two tweets here. The first one on the left is from Miss Maxine Waters. She said, "At SBF, we appreciate that you've been candid in your discussions about what happened at FTX. Your willingness to talk to the public will help the company's customers, investors, and others. To that end, we would welcome your participation in our hearing on the 13th. To which Jeremy Hogan, which is a very well-known attorney, more so in the XRP Ripple space, replied and said, "You, as the chairwoman of the committee itself, you can just subpoena him. We don't need to ask him nicely on Twitter." He even tells him where in the law book, House Rule 11, Clause 2M. But I'm sure you already knew that. I'm kind of
Pretty bad.
speechless a little bit. I'm just like,
I feel like she should have said,
Where-
she should have put the wave emoji
Bro,
in her
where did
tweet.
they
Been
draw
like,
the-
Sam, hey,
where did they
come
draw
on
the
back.
line? I don't know, man. Well, just share your thoughts. Are they approaching this the right way? Like,
Okay. Here's the thing. At least they're talking about. At least they want him, and they're giving him an offer to come down to a congressional hearing and testify. Right. At least they're doing something. I guess. I'm trying to look at the positives, man.
yeah, that's
But if it would have been, I don't know, man. If it would have been like a FDIC insured bank that did something this fraudulent or anything even remotely close, they would subpoena them and send them to court, right away.
I mean,
instantaneously, right?
you would figure and you would hope so. My point is, and I want to share a tweet from a library, which, if you're not familiar, they are the project that just They didn't settle. They got they lost the case to the SEC. And they tweeted, and we retweeted this actually. By the way, if you're not following us on Twitter, go follow us on Twitter at Sin City Crypto 1. It said, "Hey, Maxine Waters, we like to be treated nicely by the government the way criminals like Sam Bankman-Fried are. Can you let us know how much to write a check for and where to send it? Feel free to DM if you want to keep this private." There was a picture floating around of Sam Bankman-Fried, arms around Maxine, taking a picture, smiling, everything's good. Is there a deeper level of...
Is she the one that like blew him a kiss?
Yeah.
Is there
a deeper?
I thought it was.
Is there a deeper level of
Yeah, I gotta find that
stuff
video.
going on that we just don't know? That we'll maybe never know.
Yeah, the whole story's never gonna come out. And
You said the
why?
whole story's never gonna come out?
No. At least not the involvement of political figures. And why would it? I mean, these people have so much hush money and power and influence, even especially over media. And so, you know, who controls media is the Democrats. And, you know, she's a Democrat and, you know, would NBC and CNN, would they cover this? I don't know. Would they do a investigative journalism on
Like
corruption?
a real one?
Yeah, on corruption when it comes to money funneling into the Democratic Party and favoritism when it comes to accountability and fraud. I don't know, man. A little disappointed, bro.
Very disappointed. And this is why no one trusts the government or politicians, is because of reasons like this. If it's not blatantly obvious that this man is getting preferential treatment, different treatment than any other criminal who literally committed fraud and stole people's money. Like, guys, $10 billion. That is a lot of money. That is a lot of customer money. And so I don't understand. And it's kind of sad. And that's kind of what drives people to take stuff into their own hands. They're like, I'm not going to sit on my hands and wait for the government or these politicians to do something, or the Department of Justice to investigate him. They're over here sending tweets out. "Oh, Sam, would you like to join us? Thank you so much. You're being so open and transparent." He's not being open and transparent. I 100% believe this is all methodically planned. And he keeps saying, "I'm going against legal counsel." I think that's complete BS. And I think it's orchestrated. Him going out there, they're trying to say, look, all these people that committed fraud, they stayed away from media. They kind of went into a hole. He's out here answering questions, going on multiple podcasts, doing multiple interviews. He's not a criminal. He doesn't have anything to hide. Or else, why would he be in the public? That's what I think it is.
I found the video here.
Adam Clark said, he said, "Sorry, what more do you want?" That's a good question.
So here's Miss Waters saying bye to Sam Bankman-Fried. There you go, and gives him a nice farewell kiss. Oh, and a little wave.
I'm sick of covering this guy. I would love.
And he's sick of covering it. So there you go. All right. Yeah. So obviously, you know, she's had some campaign donations,
Mr. Bank.
and yeah, man. This
Money buys power, my friend. Money buys favors.
Mhm.
Right, Rocco? You come from the mafia.
Well, I don't come from the mafia. I come from an environment
So
where
you
it's.
come from the mafia?
He's the Don. He's the Don.
Hey,
come
you're from
an
Vegas.
environment-
You ever prostitute before?
Idiot.
Live in a hotel.
Do you live in a hotel?
Which hotel do you live in?
in a motel. Okay, so
I had somebody ask me yesterday. He's like, "Do you live in Vegas?" I'm like,
no, I fly every day from New York.
"Yes."
I remember one time I was working at a restaurant. They're like, "So which casino do you live in?" I'm like, "I don't live in a casino." "Oh, you don't live in Vegas?" Anyways,
and then,
Rob, let's get into the markets.
Hold on. Look at this.
sorry.
Look at this. That was the way, but
There
look
it
at
is. There's
there.
that
Look
picture.
at this. Hand in hand.
You know, and I'm gonna go back to again. I'm gonna reference CoffeeZilla again, and he was like, "Guys, how are we to sit here and believe this man went from genius, was so smart that he got high-profile investors like BlackRock to invest millions and billions of dollars into him, Alameda, FTX, And now all of a sudden, we're supposed to believe he knew nothing. I wasn't Alameda. I don't know. I wasn't overseeing it. I wasn't sure. It's complete BS. And anyone that gives him the benefit of the doubt, I guess you're kind of BS too. All right, Rob, what are the markets looking like?
All right. So taking a look here, we got Bitcoin $1,964. It was briefly over 17K. I think earlier this morning. Let's take a peek here at the chart. Yeah, we got as high as 17.1, and that was either last night or this morning. Yeah. So we had a pretty favorable jobs number come out, and then the market tanked. Which is like, we live in this like weird bizarro world right now. And so taking a look here, you have so a favorable payroll and wages number come out. Lots of the job market's still looking good, and then the market crashes. Like, how did we get here, man? How is the US economy how are the stock markets and the markets here?
Do you want to play by play or what?
And I know how, but I'm just saying that, like, why is it that we have a favorable job number for the economy and the stock market sells off and crashes?
Because here's the reason why. You ready?
I know
Because
why.
the traders know that with a favorable jobs report, it's going to give the Fed more ammunition to continue to raise rates.
It's so backwards, though, bro.
It is what it is, bro.
It's so backwards, man.
But I don't know.
And then would the traders, would Wall Street rally if everyone was laid off and we're going deep into a recession?
Probably.
Like,
And honestly, no, you're laughing, but probably.
Yeah.
Probably, bro. Probably, because now they know, all right, the Fed, they've crushed employment. Inflation's going down. If there's a time to pivot or pause, it's now. And so there's going to be speculation. You're going to see a big run up in the prices. And then when he has his FOMC meeting, I'm not saying in December this month, but maybe January, February, March.
Also, big shout out to Pelagic 6.
Pegasus.
He joined the Hodler Club. So
Awesome, man.
welcome to the club, my dude.
Thank you for the support, my friends.
Yeah, there you go.
We appreciate it.
Oh, nice graphic there for you. All right. And then taking a look, we also have let's see here. And so I won't get too far into the Bitcoin chart just because we've been kind of in this zone ever since the FTX debacle, trading
Wait,
sideways.
I have a Bitcoin chart.
Oh,
Would you like me to share it?
You know what? Why don't we get into it?
All right.
Muchas gracias.
Let's get into the Bitcoin chart, guys. So some good news. They call me, they call Sam Crypto Lifer, Sammy Cup and Handles. I'd like you guys to come up with a name because all I do is find flags. Bear flag, bull flag. I find pennants. So let me know. Well, the best one wins, okay? So this is the 4-hour chart on Bitcoin. We are in a beautiful bull flag, which you see a move to the upside followed by a downtrending channel. And these do typically break to the upside. And what kind of move can we expect from Bitcoin? Well, we take the width of this flag of the channel here. We're looking at a big 2% move. And so in all seriousness, this definitely should break to the upside. What I like to do is hop over to Crypto Stackers Pro to take a look at what level can we possibly see Bitcoin move to. And so, by the way, Crypto Stackers Pro, this is the charting software I like to use. It's created by our man Forrest. Makes it super, super easy. I'm going to walk through this. If it's something you enjoy, there is an affiliate link in the description of this video. So multiple things. What I'm using on this one is the sunset levels, which measures risk to reward. So you essentially take a local high, right, and a local low, and it tells you 1-to-1 level, 2-to-1 long, 3-to-1 long, and then 2-to-1 short, 3-to-1 short. And so if we take a look here, you can see we found resistance at the 3-to-1 long level, which is right at 17,300. We almost wicked up there on November 13th. We got rejected just yesterday. But what I'd be looking at if we do break out of this bull flag, I'd be looking at between 17.3 to 17.9, which again falls into that 1.7 to 2% move to the upside. What do you think, Robin? Do you think we'll see 20K anytime soon? And by anytime soon, I mean, let's say in the next 25 to 30 days.
I think if we get 50 basis point rate hike, which is actually the expected rate hike, coming up on the FOMC meeting on December 14th, which is 12 days away. I think we could definitely get past this 20K mark, use it as support, and start climbing back up. I am still in the camp that barring another bankruptcy, another contagion effect from the FTX blowback, another big player going insolvent. Outside of that situation, I do think we did bottom. But with that said, I do think that there is more contagion to come. So if I had to throw a number out there, I'm literally probably 50-50, man. I'm 50-50 that within the next 30 days, another major crypto player, institution, custodial agent, or just a VC firm or giant Bitcoin mining company is going to go under, and it's going to have ripple effects that continue this contagion effect.
It could be Core Scientific.
Yeah. And so if that's the case, we are not done capitulating. We're not done testing the 2-year lows. We are not done until we just shake out all of the scared money, all the institutions that are over leveraged that are barely getting by.
Is it true that scared money don't make money?
That's right. That's correct.
Thank you.
Here in Vegas, scared money actually saves money. So just letting you know.
We'll see.
Mm.
You gonna go over the rest of the markets, or what are we doing here?
And then also taking a look, we also have Ethereum coming in at $1,282. So really strong Ethereum as of lately. You're getting more of a rally out of Ethereum if you're going to compare it next to Bitcoin. And then also we got the biggest gainers for the day. We got Trust Wallet token pumping pretty hard. Probably has something to do with Coinbase Wallet having restrictions when it comes to the iOS system. So that's a pretty big news
I'm
there.
actually gonna cover that too.
Cool. And then Terra Luna Classic is pumping as well. So and Quant.
Quant, man.
So-
Quant looks like if it keeps going, it might be the darling of the bear market here.
Mhm. And it could very well be. It could be shaping up that way. You also have Hex up quite significantly as well. And just take a glance at the stock markets. We are in the red, but nothing too dramatic. And that's all I got.
Interesting. All right, I want to talk about one of my one of the projects I really enjoy. I'm currently delegating all of my flow tokens, and so I like to keep TA super simple. And again, one of the reasons I like using Crypto Stackers Pro. So we have the 1-day chart for flow, and I got the easy bands thrown on here. And if you've watched our channel in Forest, you know that once price moves in to the level between the solid and the dashed green easy bands, that is our area to buy, to DCA in. As we move out of the dashed band and in between in this no man's land here, this is where you want to just hold steady. And once we get into the upper red dashed in between that and the solid red line, you want to start DCing out. We are currently in the buy zone for flow. Of course, not financial advice, but we're coming in at $1.09 for flow. They're continuing to make partnerships. NFL all day is still, the volume on that is still great. NFL is the most popular sport here in the US. And, people are spending a lot of money, even during a bear market, on some of these NFL all-day moments. And so for me, looking at a project like Flow, who if we zoom out here and we see, essentially highs is over in the $40, $50 range. Or sorry, $43. So you're looking at a project that's in the top 50, and you're looking at a possible 40x from this point. Right? Dapper Labs, extremely solid company. They got so many partnerships. A lot of these companies, the large major enterprise companies that are diving into NFTs, they're going flow. And so for me, I've continued to DCA into flow. If you're a fan of flow or you hold flow, put a 1 in the chat. Let us know. Let me know. And then one more thing I want to look at is Polygon. So Big fan of Polygon as well. Huge partnerships. Also, same thing. What I like to do during bear markets is I like to see, all right, when stuff hits the fan, which projects are continuing to build, which projects are continuing to attract developers, to attract companies, to attract partnerships. Polygon's one of them. Flow is one of them. So again, Polygon, we did the margin pressure levels, took the local high here on November 7th. And you can see we got rejected at the 3x short level. So I do expect us to trade between this 2 to 3x short level, which put us right around 84.5 cents to 95.5 cents. So little 10-cent spread you have there. If you're a seasoned trader, if you're a scalper, if you like to swing trade, and especially on leverage, is not something I recommend unless you're comfortable. Good area to accumulate or trade Polygon. You mentioned, Robin, I want to pivot to this.
I also want to mention
Good.
the lack of the like button here in Sin City Crypto's chat. What y'all doing? I fixed the sign, man. There'll be no excuse here. The sign is fixed.
You can see the glue all around.
You see the glue?
It looks good.
If somebody in our chat wants to
You
make a
can
new
see
thumbs
the
up
glue.
sign, I will proudly display it. This thing. I need a paint stir stick, bro.
A paint stir stick?
Yeah, to like support this thing. Some support. Yeah, it's 1/3 of the people here have only liked the video, man. What do y'all don't like us?
Let's just stop the show.
Do you not like Portugal?
Rocco?
What, tornado? I'm going, man.
All right, Rob, you mentioned, now we've been trying to cover this the last 2 days, but with everything going on with FTX, that was front and center, but we have time today to cover it. And Robin alluded to this, Coinbase Wallet, Apple. So this is a tweet. This was yesterday from Coinbase Wallet. You might have noticed you can't send NFTs on Coinbase Wallet's iOS anymore. This is because Apple blocked our last app release until we disabled the feature. Apple's claim is that the gas fees required to send NFTs need to be paid through their in-app purchase system so that they can collect 30% of the gas fee. For anyone who understands how NFTs and blockchains work, this is clearly not possible. Apple's proprietary in-app purchase system does not support crypto, so we couldn't comply even if we try. This is akin to Apple trying to take a cut of fees for every email that gets sent over open internet protocols. The biggest impact from this policy change is on iPhone users that own NFTs. If you hold an NFT in a wallet on an iPhone, Apple just made it a lot harder to transfer that NFT to other wallets or gift it to friends or family. Robin, I just want your general thoughts. I don't have a directed question. I don't have anything specific. What is Apple doing? Like, is this just like them not understanding how blockchain works, or is this them just being greedy?
They
Could it be both?
they see money moving around. They just want everything, man. Why don't you take 30% of every Venmo transaction that your app uses, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how about every time I use PayPal? Every time I use a PayPal app, charge me 30% there too. It's the same thing, man. You're gonna charge for NFTs to move around on your wallet. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you're paying a gas fee. The whole thing is you're paying a gas fee and they want a cut of it. They don't understand that Coinbase ain't making money on the gas fees. The gas fee is not a Coinbase transaction fee. It's not the fee for Coinbase to pay their engineers to move your NFT. That's not how it works. I feel like these tech companies that started technical revolutions are so disconnected to new technology. It boggles my mind, bro. You can scan the crap out of my eyeball halfway open through sunglasses while I'm driving my car to unlock my phone. But yeah, you can't figure out that Ethereum is not the money that Ethereum makes. It goes to the stake pool operators, not to Coinbase. It's frustrating, bro.
Okay, now let me throw this at you. You and I as well. We made fun of the Solana phone, and you specifically, Robin, said, "Why do you need a phone? Just get an app." Well, is this a good reason or an example of why a specific Web3 phone that's not Apple, that's not Google, it might be a good idea for our space? Have you changed your mind? You're allowed to change your opinion when new information comes about, my friend. I want you to know that.
You know
It's a
what?
good
The salon phone is looking good.
No, in all honesty, though,
you know, hold
there's
on.
obviously a
I
monopoly,
mean, you can
right?
blame it. You know,
You know what? I mean, honestly, I didn't foresee this. So
What are you doing?
I got my I got my Coinbase wallet out, and so
What's your password?
yeah, hold on, I'll text it to you.
good phrase. Okay, let's do the
And
whole
so I'm actually kind of concerned because I literally have my only NFT on
thing. No,
on Coinbase wallet, and this is my Coinbase
I
wallet.
thought you sold that thing. Did you?
I put it for sale, and then I had to change a heart. Man, I couldn't
Rob.
let go of them, man.
Oh,
And so
so bad.
you know, I could use the money, that's for sure. But
We can all use the money.
I
Christmas is coming.
figure it out. I'll figure it out.
Proud of you. We do have some new people in the chat.
Oh,
Is that Naomi Bolo? Naomi, were you the one that said months ago you guys should look into what Alameda does with trading? I think that's him or her. Let me know, please, because I want to give you your props. You were on the nose.
And we also got so Jamma Beans and also Rodney Solar Circuits, and then Rudy Poo has been here before. Hola! Welcome, Sin City Crypto.
All right, guys, we have actually some good news regarding FTX. If you live in Japan or are using FTX Japan, as they announced they're looking to unfreeze client funds and to allow withdrawals. This is sourced from Be In Crypto, not Be Out of Crypto, but Be In Crypto. FTX Japan has announced plans to allow customers to withdraw funds from the exchange soon, meaning they will be among the first to get their money back. Well, actually, Bahamian people were the first to get their money back, per Sam, because guess why? You don't want, okay, so business tip number one, guys. Get a pen and paper, write this down. The country you're operating in, you can piss off every other person around the world, but the country your home is in, you live in, don't piss those people off. So screw everyone else over. Let the people in the country you live in, let them get their money out, and then everything will be fine. That was literally what he said. He was asked about the withdrawals from the Bahamian accounts in the Bahamas, and he literally said, not verbatim, but he literally said, well, you know, for the image of the company, we don't want to piss off the people living in the Bahamas. So you were afraid that the people in the Bahamas would know where you live and will come after you, because we know it's harder to fly from the US or anywhere in the world versus, oh, he lives right up the street. Let me go pay him a visit. Right? Robin?
I don't think that's the reason why.
So what's the reason? That's literally what he said.
The reason that the people that live in the Bahamas is not us. We don't live in the Bahamas, so because we don't have the money, pretty much.
No.
That's what it is.
The
Not because
reason-
they're going to get
The
fined.
reason he let the Bahamas people pull money out is because he didn't want them to be upset.
I don't think that's the point.
That's literally what he said.
The people are powerful over there.
That is what he said. So you can speculate. I'm just telling you what he said. I want to continue.
Honestly, the dude, he let that happen because all of his employees were there, his operations were there, and why? And so if you're gonna backdoor tons of money out and you're gonna be able to shuffle your money out with everybody else, you're gonna do it in the same place that you resided.
That's it.
That's you don't need the conspiracy hat to know that one, bro. Hey, nobody can withdraw cash except for the little tiny island that we are all on right now, that we are all complicit with fraud, and we want to take as much money as we can before we leave. Not coincidence. Not at all. Not in the slightest.
The article actually goes on to say FTX Japan received confirmation from the law firm representing the FTX group that the Japanese customer's assets should not be treated as the firm's property. There's a quote, "Our engineering teams are working to allow FTX Japan users to withdraw their funds. Re-enabling the withdrawal service is our top priority, and we are grateful for your understanding and support." Now, Robin, Sam, yesterday on the Twitter Spaces, did say FTX Japan, FTX US, 100% solvent. Withdrawals should have been or should be back on. If we see this from FTX Japan, can FTX US do the same thing? I know we're not lawyers.
I think
here.
I don't see why not. Here's the thing. Japan, and when it comes to the regulation, their exchanges, extremely stringent regulatory compliance that has to go in place to operate there. There's only like 12, I think it is, cryptos that are tradable in Japan. Now, obviously, you can DeFi whatever the hell you want, but as far as like what's able to be listed on exchanges, it's a pretty small basket of cryptos that you can buy and sell. Now, a lot of the regulatory compliance when it comes to Japan is way more scrutinizing than it is around the world. And so, was there intermingling of funds? Was there margin trading and leverage on the Japan exchange? No. And so
According to who?
the assets are still
Sam or?
on FTX Japan. Yeah. And so the assets are there. And I know that you can't on FTX.us. I had an account. I never really used it. I remember getting into but they didn't offer margin trading, right? They didn't offer leverage. You couldn't put in leverage trading on FTX.us, right?
I did not. So I had an account, but the only reason I had an account was A, I moved all my BlockFi rewards there, and B, it was linked to my Ledger Live. But I never traded from the app.
So you moved your BlockFi rewards. So you you got off of a speeding train that was crashing onto a bus that was on fire. It was and then you got off of that bus just in time.
I had the BlockFi.
Everything David touches goes to shit.
Hey,
Eddie,
where's the money now?
Eddie would tell you.
Where is the money now? Where is your assets now?
I feel so bad for Eddie.
but make sure you get a pen and paper so we can write it down.
Did Eddie lose his money?
Boomer.
I don't know. So, no,
I want to know where your cursed ass token swapping here. Where did it go next? Is it left BlockFi? It went to FTX. Where did your cursed tokens land next?
Celsius.
He's like, I moved it from Celsius. It went to
Blocks,
BlockFi.
it was still open,
He's like, I went from BlockFi.
Mt.
I went
Gox
to
deposits
FTX.
were open. I don't know.
He's like, I at one point I moved it to Voyager, and then I thought it was a bad idea, and I went. And then lastly, I sold it all for NFT. I sold it all for NFT, and I kept it on my Coinbase wallet.
You guys are idiots. Friday fun day. So if you have money on FTX.us, which we hope none of our community members did because we were covering this thing, we said, hey, get your money out. But if you did, there is some hope seeing what Japan did. Hopefully the US will do the same. Because if money is left in there and they're allowed to grab it out or take it out, we know how expensive litigation is. Bankruptcy lawyers are making an asinine amount of money. What I don't understand, Rob, is, and you're not going to have an answer to this, but why does it make sense to a judge to pay out millions, sometimes hundreds of millions of dollars a month to legal fees when that money could have just been paid back to the creditors, right?
Yeah, but the thing is you don't have enough money to pay the creditors.
I know, but then you have hundreds of millions to give to your legal team.
That's not how it works, man. That's not how it works.
What do you mean that's not how it works?
Hey, okay, in a fluffy world
David's
where
funds are on Gemini.
They're
not on Gemini.
The world doesn't work like that, man. And you know what? You're gonna
Robin,
file
how
for
does the world
bankruptcy.
work in Robin land?
Okay. Well, you can't just close up shop, not hire a lawyer, and then just everyone go to jail.
Just haul withdrawals and say we're paying back this.
Okay.
How much money do you have?
Have you ever
We're
had
paying
some?
people
Have you
back
ever
like
had a
this.
family member file for bankruptcy? Could they have somehow in the scope of the world not filed for bankruptcy and made it out?
But
So what I'm saying is
they do
that's how the
but
world
there's
works.
Different reasons you do bankruptcy.
Okay, so your reason is better, or your family's reason is better, or your friend's reason is better. I'm just saying that, like, I've had family members. I've never personally filed for bankruptcy, but I've seen people I'm close with file for bankruptcy, and I'm like, did you need to do that, or did you just get lazy and irresponsible and didn't pay your funds back? Because I'm pretty sure it's the latter. And I'm not saying that there isn't exceptions, but some people, how did you get into that spot? How did you wind up with so much debt? Were you so irresponsible that you took out debt that you couldn't afford to pay back? And then all of a sudden, it's boo-hoo, look at me, I can't afford to pay my bills. You put yourself there. And people take advantage of the system. That's the world we live in, man. It's how it is. So don't expect FTX to come out and act differently and come in with a shining white horse and be like, hey, you know what? We're not going to pay for a legal team. I'm going to self-represent myself and go to prison. No, they're going to take advantage of the safeguards in place. They're going to file bankruptcy. They're going to hire a lawyer team. They're going to try to protect assets, and they're going to pay back the bare minimum. That's the world we live in, man.
Some people are forced to file bankruptcy, bro. Some people don't have a choice.
And some exchanges are forced to file bankruptcy. They don't have a choice.
I guess. Donald Trump? I mean, that's just taking advantage of the system.
Okay.
You know what's funny?
And so people take advantage of the system all the time, man. I have friends and family that take advantage of the system. It's the world we live in, man. And I don't expect FTX of all people to come in and be this glorious ethics and be like, I won't hire a lawyer team so that way we can give our people 5% more money back than they were going to get back already. So instead of getting 22% back, you'll get 27% back and I won't have a defense. Like, no, the money's gone. They effed up and they're going through the system of bankruptcy, which is hire a lawyer team.
Dude, calm down, man. God, why are you getting so aggro, bro?
I'm just saying, man.
It's the coconut
Cocoa
water.
stands for something other than coconut. You know what I'm saying?
Le coconut.
All right. So, Rustin, aka CFTC chair, he walks a fine line during his.
It looks like a wrestling photo.
He does. He looks like a
Like
a dude that can literally just squeeze your head and pop it with one.
Like
swift flow.
what's the guy that's the enemy for Superman? What's it? Lex
Luthor, Kryptonite.
This is before the match.
Yeah, before the match. Anyway, so this man, Rustin Benham, the CFTC chair, he spoke at a congressional hearing, and he wants new authority to his CFTC to oversee crypto after FTX filed for bankruptcy protection. He said, quote, "We lacked the authority to comprehensively regulate the digital commodity market. To prevent this from happening again, we must be provided appropriate authority by Congress." Senator Michael Bennett, who is a Democrat from Colorado, pressed Rustin as to why Sam Bankman-Fried and his company aggressively lobbied for the Stabenow-Boozman bill. And he, to which Senator Bennett said, "The thing that's given me pause is just thinking about why FTX would have lobbied so hard for a bill that it could never comply with." That's pretty interesting. Is this the fault of Congress, Robin, that they couldn't pass a law sooner? They couldn't differentiate. All right, you oversee this part of crypto, you oversee that part of crypto, or create a whole new commission to do that. Is it their fault that this was allowed to happen and maybe safeguards could have been put in place? You know, that when Sam and Alameda and FTX started doing the shady things they were doing, could have been flagged because there's an actual committee that oversees them.
But they weren't transparent. FTX wasn't transparent, so
I mean, bro,
I feel like if they complied,
Rob,
they
here's
would
the-
have
but Rob,
shown
hold
they
on,
would have
hold on.
shown some artificial numbers that weren't real.
Hold on, but Robin, you literally was public information that the money you were sending to FTX was being rerouted to Alameda. That in its own, bro, if there was some sort of regulatory oversight,
Yeah, but
that
you
alone would have been a red flag.
you can also justify that and be like, hey, this is a loan moving or a wallet moving or whatever it is.
When it's
I'm just saying when you're
ACH
that deep
deposits?
into fraud.
I don't
So
know.
you think if FTX, if this law would have passed, the whole
No,
FTX
I'm
thing
asking-
wouldn't
that-
have
that's
had
the-
fraud wouldn't have
That's
happened
the
in
question I'm
FTX.
asking you. That's the
And that's
question
my
I asked.
answer is that none of it would have changed. They would have just
Nothing would
found
have changed.
They would have found a different loophole or different way of concealing their actions. The same way that they operate in Japan with a very stringent regulation, the same way they operate in FTX.US with stricter compliance. I don't see that being any different. So
What does the chat think?
I don't see them like all of a sudden being like, oh, hey, there's rules in town. We can't do anything fraudulent anymore. No, they're just gonna get better at it.
Rocco, were you Robin, James F said, dude on the left, which is you, looks like a young Chris Delia. Delia. You know
Who's
who
that?
that is?
No.
Delia. He's a super funny comedian.
No.
Is he really?
Mm-hmm.
Or what? Oh, great. Well, Robin's definitely not that, but I want to know what the chat thinks. Chat, do you guys think if there was regulatory clarity, at least there was regulatory clarity, that maybe this stuff would have been flagged? What do you guys think? By the way, Rob, this is who they say you kind of look like a young version of.
Some nice flowing locks there.
I mean, you are growing your beard out. Take the hat off real quick.
What's wrong with that?
Oh, the hair. Okay. Rocco, bring Robin's pictures side by side. Okay.
There you go.
I can dig it.
And
Let me know what you think, chat. Do you guys think if there was a little bit more clarity that this could have at least been flagged, put a 1. If it wouldn't have mattered, put a 2. I'm curious.
you know, I'm not discounting the need for regulation and that it would hold more people accountable. I think it's needed. It's coming, and we need to hurry up with this damn thing because there's been just no progress when it comes to passing regulation. And I think it will be beneficial. But if you're as corrupt as Alameda is and as corrupt as FTX is, and you got fraud just pouring out of every little orifice and hole there, in your little 10-person
Fraud pie.
masquerade fiascos you got going on over there in your little party house. You don't
It
know
was more
what I'm
than
talking
fraud
about.
coming out the pores. You know what I'm saying?
You don't know what I'm talking about. Go check. 10-person mansion, Jamaica, Bahamas.
So, okay.
Hey, what's
in all
the 2 in
honesty,
the chat? Did we put a 1 or a 2 in the chat?
Yeah.
What was it?
1 is people think that at least some clarity would have at least flagged some of the bad stuff
Okay,
going on. 2 is didn't matter.
one is good.
It would have
Okay.
mattered. 2
Oh, yeah.
wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, everybody else jump up in here. We're curious. So 1 if this regulation would have been the be all end all to corruption of Sam Bankman-Fried. Or if 2 would have been
Doesn't matter.
he would have been like, that's cute. Nice try. Move the money to a different wallet.
Crunk C said Bernie Madoff had regulatory clarity. I'm 100% in that camp that bad people will do bad things. They'll find their way around it, but at least it could make it a little harder, right? That's all we can hope for.
Yeah.
Speaking on the subject of regulatory clarity, we have our favorite senator. Well, I don't know if she's a senator or a Congress or a representative, but Cynthia Lummis calls for regulation. The calls are getting louder as the FTX contagion spreads. Source from Cointelegraph on November 28th. Let's just say she's a senator. Cynthia Lummis described the collapse of FTX as a wake-up call for Congress. Lummis said that said the bipartisan bill she introduced this year would have prevented the FTX collapse, as regulators would be able to see if an exchange fell below the threshold immediately. Stephanie Link, which is a chief investment strategist and portfolio manager at Hightower Advisors, has called for more regulation as well, stating crypto is, quote, broken and irrelevant until there is regulation. So, Rob, they could have seen immediately if the exchange fell below the threshold. I'm assuming customer funds. I'm assuming.
Yeah, and I
Right?
think this is 100% in the aspect of spot trading and also just keeping your money on exchange. I think where you get cloudy, you get a like murky situation is with leverage trading and lending, borrowing. That's a little too complex for, I think, this bill to address as far as transparency. So would have FTX went under if all of their spot trading and their order books and customers' assets were back 1-to-1? Perhaps, but I don't know. Man. I don't know.
But do you
I'm
agree-
still in the same camp.
But Rob, do
what's that?
you agree with me that bad people will find a way to skirt?
Yeah.
But do you also agree that at least it can make it a little harder? At least it can
Well, don't make it easier. Like, that's one thing. Like, hey, if you live in a city that is got a ton of you live in a certain neighborhood that's got tons of theft and crime, well, you don't want to keep all your merchandise outside and display outside the store without any cameras or anybody watching, right? What's going to happen? Somebody's going to walk by and grab something. Now, you can do that if you live in the nice part of town and it's some like bougie farmer's market area. And then all of a sudden you got your displays outside. You got all kinds of nice things out there. And you're like, oh, no, nobody's going to come out here and steal it. But if you make it easy in an area where it's full of fraud, people are going to take advantage of it. Don't make it easy, man. Don't make it easy. If you're holding billions of dollars of people's assets and money, don't make it easy for them to steal your money. At least complicate it and make it difficult. Because if you make it easy, people are going to take advantage of it.
Why'd you have to go and make things so complicated? All right. I want to move on. Some other news that happened this week that was exciting outside of FTX, outside of Sam Bankman-Fried, was Uniswap. Uniswap calls its new NFT aggregator a Google search for trading. It's a source from Decrypt. 5 months after acquiring NFT trading aggregator Genie, Uniswap is launching an NFT aggregator on its website. With it, users can view listings and global floor prices across 7 different marketplaces. They can also bulk buy NFTs in a single transaction, which obviously will save them on gas, and list NFTs for sale across multiple marketplaces. The listings and data include from OpenSea, X2, Y2, SudoSwap, LooksRare, Larva Labs Foundation, and NFT 20. Rob, what are your thoughts, my friend? Is Uniswap, like, we know that the number one DEX for ETH, right? But does this put them like just way ahead of every other DEX, or you can even argue NFT data aggregator, right? You can do everything from one place.
Well, the thing was that there was, NFT sector is so new. Before 2019, it wasn't a thing. You needed smart contracts, and we did see the explosive rise of the NFT market and how much liquidity poured into it. And the space is so new that, we're in the middle of a bear market, and in the bear market, you build. And so you're seeing no shortage of competition. There's all kinds of new NFT platforms out there. Somebody's going to rise to the top. Will it be Uniswap? Perhaps. Will Uniswap even be the lead DEX or the lead DeFi swap aggregator in the future? I don't know. So I don't know, man. I think everyone's building. I don't know who's going to come out on top. Is this a good thing? Yes. Also happens to coincide with the issues regarding NFTs and the Coinbase wallet. And so maybe it's perfect timing for them. Yeah.
All right. One piece of info. So BNB, Binance Chain, right? BNB. They're a decent, pretty big ecosystem. I've called it a scam chain just because a lot of the pump and dump scams, they go through Binance Smart Chain. It's super easy to set it up. You can copy paste templates. That's just been my opinion. But now they're getting a nice boost from OpenSea, as OpenSea's listing of BNB NFTs. Will it be a game changer for the BNB blockchain? BNB chain NFTs will now, it's a source from AMB Crypto. BNB chain NFTs will now be available for listing and sale on OpenSea. This new development will help improve the NFT trading experience of more than 1 million users across the globe. BNB's NFT ecosystem witnessed growth over the last 24 hours thanks to this new listing. We know, obviously, ETH NFTs still reign king. I feel like Cardano NFTs.
Does anybody care about BNB NFTs?
Well, that's
Am I the only one here that don't really care about BNB NFTs? I'm not trying to throw shade at BNB. I'm not trying to throw shade at BNB NFTs. Well, actually,
can
it sounds
this
like
make it
actually
relevant?
I am actually.
But can this make it relevant, Robin?
No.
No?
No. You got to come up with something new and innovative, man. Nobody wants another 10,000 JPEGs of monkeys or of kittens or
Whoa,
of
you leave kitties out of
goblins
this?
or whatever it is. Like, come up with something different,
Or
bro.
birds, ugly birds.
Yeah,
right?
like, you know what? Why doesn't B&B, why don't they get behind, maybe they like do a investing round and get a bunch of money and build out an ecosystem for music, for videos and like rental rights, you know, instead of, instead of buying your movies digitally that you don't get to keep on some of these streaming platforms where you pay, what is it, like $9.99, you buy the movie, you know, like on Apple or whatever it is. Yeah, and then you lose your Apple password and that's it. Like, or you want to watch it on something that's not Apple, you can't. Like, hey man, well, why don't we take the time to build this marketplace out and expand outside of these pictures? Because you know anything about NFTs is that the technology is a lot broader and a lot it's going to touch a lot more things than just pictures that are saved on a blockchain, because that's all really an NFT is right now as we know it. It's a picture stored on a server that you can move around if you have the NFT rights.
You know what I want to touch, Robin?
What's that?
I want to touch on our Discord. Guys, if you haven't joined our Discord, please go join. This is a community-ran Discord. The link to that is in the description of this video. Another Discord I'd recommend, this one is Crypto Stackers. Some really good stuff in here. Forrest got Nansen Analytics, which breaks down a lot of super cool things if you're a technical person. Also, Nansen NFTs tells you what smart money is minting. There's also Easy Band Alerts. It tells you when a project goes into the buy zone, when it goes into the sell zone. I believe you have to pay either you pay I think $9 a month, or if you have a lifetime membership to Crypto Stackers Pro, you get lifetime access to this. Again, if you're interested, there is an affiliate link in the description of this video. Also, go follow us on Twitter at Sin City Crypto 1. Let me show you our profile here, guys. We're growing. We're at 1,654 followers. So at Sin City Crypto 1, we have a lot of fun on here. We post pertinent, important information. And I also want to share this. This is the interview that we need. The interview that we all should.
Why have I
should
not
have-
seen this?
What the hell was that? Hey, what the hell?
Like a Sims.
You freaking kidding me? Hey, what the hell? What the hell is that?
Guys, you will find
Zero.
this.
Zero? Are you freaking kidding me?
You will find content like this along with obviously real news. This was a parody. Obviously, real news. We do.
I like how you
we
said
do,
it was a parody, like anybody believed it
Well,
wasn't.
I know. Just you never know. So, guys, go follow us on Twitter. Also, check out our merch store. All the links are in the description of this video. Rocco,
What's going on?
friends, family, friends of family, and family friends. We thank you guys so much for ending your week with us here at Sin City Crypto. On behalf of myself, Robin, the Don, and Kyla Berry, we love you guys. Have an amazing weekend. We will see you Monday, 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Also, go USA, baby. Let's go. Saturday, 7 a.m. Pacific Time.
Tomorrow.
Support tomorrow, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Go support the USA men's national team against the Dutch, the Netherlands. We're going to win, baby. Have a
I
good
don't
weekend,
know.
guys. We'll see you next
We'll
week.
see Monday when you cry.
Also, go root for Italy. They're playing. Wait, when's Italy playing, Rocco?
We play enough. We have a lot of cups. How many guys?
We play enough. We have a lot of cups. And on that note,
Where yours?
woo.